This war that's coming is going to be 2.2 billion. I'm talking about 40 times World War II, the worst war ever. Now, I can't tell you exactly when this is going to happen. I think it could happen yet this year. And you're going to see as we go along in this message, you're going to see what the Bible says. There's a whole lot more information about this war than we've talked about so far. But this we know. Now, let's look at it just to make sure we really get it. I'm talking about 6,000 years of human history. And not one war with 1 million dead. Then we reach 1914, 8.2 million dead. Then 1939 through 1945, 52 million dead. The next World War, World War III, will be 2.2 billion. It's like it's going through the roof. In this time when mankind is more educated than it's ever been, when the knowledge base is multiplying, doubling every 2 years, it seems like the only thing we're getting smarter at is killing people. I mean, the divorce rates are up, the suicide rates are up, the jails are fuller than they've ever been. The only thing we're getting better at is killing people. It's a very serious time in the history of the human race. Now, the Bible tells us where World War III will begin from. Back to Revelation 9. Now, this is the 6th trumpet prophecy. And starting with verse number 13, listen to it. Then the 6th angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the 4 horns of the golden altar, which is before God, saying to the 6th angel which had the trumpet, release the 4 angels who are bound at the great river Euphrates. So the 4 angels who have been prepared for the hour and day and month and year were released to kill 1/3 of mankind. What are we talking about? The Euphrates River. The Euphrates River is over in the Middle East, and these angels were bound in the Euphrates River. Now, angels are spirits. The Bible tells us that angels are ministering spirits to us who are the heirs of salvation. But these angels are not good angels. You know that 1/3 of the angels rebelled with Satan. And so 1/3 of the angels are evil angels. Well, these are part of those evil angels. How do we know for sure? Because they're bound in the great river Euphrates. But when they are loosed, their assignment is to kill 1/3 of mankind. Now let's look at where the Euphrates River actually is. Euphrates River starts in Turkey up in the north. It then comes down through Syria. It enters the northern boundary of Iraq. 60 to 70% of the Euphrates River is in Iraq, which is where we have troops stationed at this moment. War has been raging up and down the Euphrates River since 2003, since we invaded Iraq. Then finally the Euphrates River empties into the Persian Gulf. Now the Bible says that that's where World War III will emanate from. Now that's true. It appears that it's probably on the brink of starting if it hasn't already started. Now let's take a look at the map here. You can see it on your screen. The yellow line, notice, starts in Turkey in the north, down through Syria, then through Iraq, and comes within about 50 miles of Iran. So we've got the conflict with Iran brewing. We have the war continuing in Iraq, even though they're trying to tell us it's about over. There's still bombings going on there every day. And then all the way up through this area, you've got Afghanistan, you've got Pakistan. The Bible prophesies that World War III will begin from this area of the world. Now, it probably will not be contained there, because to kill 2 billion people, you've got to reach a large part of the world. There's a total of 6.8 billion people. Now the question is, who will be involved in this war? Well, we know that Mao Zedong, the late leader of China, boasted in his diary that he could field an army of 200 million. Now, verse number 16 of this prophecy says the number of the army of the horsemen was 200 million, and I heard the number of them. This is pretty incredible that this godless atheist man would just so happen to say the very number that's in this 16th verse of this 9th chapter of the book of Revelation. He says we can field 200 million soldiers. The Bible says that's the number of the horsemen. So does that mean then that China is going to be one of the participants in this war? I think it's highly likely, but you can't nail that down for sure, because there are at least 2 other entities on this planet right now that could actually also field 200 million soldiers. We know that the Islamic world has a population of 1.5 billion. The population of China is about 1.3. So the Islamic world, if they got together and begin to fight together, they could field an army of 200 million. India now has about 1.1 billion in population, and so India could possibly put that many soldiers on the battlefield, even though India doesn't appear to be as engaged in world affairs as the Islamic faction and as China may be. Now, we can't skip over the Islamic faction because the Bible says this war emanates from the Euphrates River, and 100%, every inch of the Euphrates River is controlled by Islamic nations right now. So, who will be involved in the war? Well, the United States almost for sure will be involved, since we right today have 145,000 troops fighting up and down the Euphrates River. Beyond this, the United States of America has the nuclear firepower to kill 2.2 billion people. It takes a lot of armaments to slay 2.2 billion. I mean, the biggest war we've ever had on this planet.